What is up?
Hello.
How you going?
Good. How are you?
Good to have you, man.
It's good to be here.
I'm here with
Mikeyy.
Two Eyes. Two Eyes in the building. Where did that start from, man? Where did Two Eyes start from?
My middle name is Yusuf.
Mm.
And I initially wanted my name to be Mikeyy Yusuf because I wanted to incorporate like my Iraqi kind of roots. But then I was like, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
know.
I know how it be. I know.
So I added the Y on the end.
Makes it a bit harder to get through the airport.
No, I'm fine on the airport.
You could be racially ambiguous.
I know.
With the mo out,
people
you
think
could
I'm
be.
Italian.
Yeah.
Like,
With the mo out, you're definitely.
That would be easy, wouldn't it be?
Even if I reckon if you like shaved everything.
You know, I was thinking actually because it's November.
Mm.
A lot of my friends that have like Iraqi beards, they've been shaving. It's like, should I? And then I did the Snapchat filter. And I was like, hell no!
Yeah, bro, that thing is humbling, bro.
I'll donate to Movember though. I will donate.
Yo,
but
Movember's pretty on. I wish I could grow like nice mo. My mo's very like, it just curls in on itself. You have a nice mo. I really like yours.
I feel like mine just got like this when it grew out. So maybe just give it a chance.
Yeah, you know what it is, bro? I get impatient. I get impatient with everything beard. I'm like, yeah, I'll grow out my beard, and then like a weekend, I feel it, and I get the ick, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, it's all going off.
You gotta hold it out.
Yeah, 100%. How's music been, man? How's music been this year? You've been making crazy moves. I've been seeing you like developing at a faster rate than ever, and going in a direction which I see you like really enjoying.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like it's been so much faster than it has. This year's.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like you take these little jumps, and this year it's like big jump, and I'm just kind of like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
In a good way, though. I'm really
100%.
grateful. And yeah.
Man.
Electronic artist now.
Yep.
When you met me, I was not.
When I met you, you were the very first time I ever saw you, I think you were sitting down with a guitar.
Uh-huh.
And
in the green
singing.
room, I was singing, and then I got up on stage with my braces, and I was like, 1, 2, 3, let's go. Yeah. I did like that 21 Savage cover.
Yes,
in my rap days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I saw you one time before that, bro.
No.
I saw you at the first Apollo night.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out to Apollo night, because that's where...
I didn't know you were there.
I was there, bro. I think I met your parents.
That's when I sung a Daniel Caesar cover.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You had the guitar, you were sitting down, you were singing. Was Spencer playing that night as well? He was. Me, you see me? I move like an elephant, cuz.
Shout out Spencer.
Shout out Spencer. Love that guy. That guy, oh my days. The things we put that man through in the first week of opening the studio.
And he just was down.
He just took it on the chin, eh?
Yep.
He took it on the chin.
I'm really happy for him. He's doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah, that guy's great, man. Insanely talented.
Can we bleep this? But
great human.
He's
That's fucking
which is
crazy.
Huge for him.
That's fucking.
We should
crazy.
keep that in, but just bleep
it.
Yeah,
and
so
then
that it's like
yeah. No, 100%.
My boy.
We'll do that. That's fucking nuts. He's the man. I'm really happy for him. Speaking of studio, bro, you being the first guest is very, very fitting to the First Gen podcast, because if you do not know, Mikeyy not only was part of the original crew that founded the studio, he was the person that actually found the building.
Yeah.
Mikeyy gave me a call, and he was like, "Yo, found a spot." And it was after we were in talks, I think about a month before. I actually remember the call, which is crack up. I can't remember if I remember the call. I can't remember which call it was. If it was the one of you finding the building, or if it was the one where I told you that Mikeyy, Baban, and I wanted to open a studio.
Well, I remember telling Baban at maybe we were hanging out or something, a party, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, like I want a studio. Like I need a place out of home. I was about to graduate.
Yeah.
And thinking about the future. Obviously, you know, in that time, like, oh my God, if you had told me what I was doing now, I would have been like, what?
Yeah.
But he was like, dude, me and Kulva want to make a studio too.
Yeah.
And we were like, should we just do it together?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And here we fucking are.
Here we are. When you called me, I'm fairly sure it was that call. When you called me, it was on I was on a car buying trip somewhere.
Mm.
And I remember you being like, yo, bro, I found a spot. I was like, sick. Like, can we tee it up? Let's try it. And it was the first spot. It was here, and we just came, and we didn't look anywhere else. We didn't need to.
Well, because I'd been looking.
Yeah.
Like, hard, and
Yeah.
nothing was even close. There was like a storage space that was in Albany too, and the ones that I got into contact, there's a bunch I applied for, no contact. Then I'd get into contact, I'd be like, music studio, they'd be like,
nah. Yeah.
And then found this place, hit them up, and they're like, yeah, that sounds great. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Like almost not expecting it, eh?
Hmm.
It's crazy. Underrated struggle. I actually forgot about that. Underrated struggle is how difficult it is to find a space, not in terms of just like affordability, like location, this and that. It's a place that will let you record music.
Yeah. Because, it's loud.
It's loud, yeah. In a residential spot, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
Even what I don't understand is in a lot of commercial places, people get scared. That I don't get.
It's weird with that because either they get scared or like that's where they are. Like you have a lot of these shared spaces. Well, not a lot. There's a couple. Like there was a couple I was looking at on K Road.
Mm.
But that presented its own challenges, and that's a double-edged sword because it's like you can be loud, but the street's loud.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to be loud
in
a quiet place.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty tough
It's a hard It's a hard task.
Mm.
It's definitely a tall task, but you sussed it. You sussed it, man.
You guys sussed it. I just
nah.
trade me. Bing, bing, bing.
Nah, man. That was that was a crazy time period. That first 6 months of sorting this place out.
It was, man.
How's it been recording at home?
It's like my default,
Yeah.
Like I grew up just making beats in my room.
Yeah.
I now fitted out a room in my house or my family house.
Yeah.
That's my studio.
And it looks sick.
Thank you.
It looks so sick. I'm so happy for you.
It's a good vibe, and it's like anything. There's good things and bad things.
Yeah.
It's convenient. It's easy, but like there is an element to it where like I really valued being here, having the separation between like where you're working or even just like creating versus where you live. Like it is sometimes like a creator of unhealthy habits when I'm like in my pajamas in a stink and I'm just making music all day.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
It's I remember when I was coming out of high school, this alumni from my high school came through and talked to us about the importance, and this wasn't studying, but it applies so much for music as well. The importance of having two different spaces because of the mental association you have with each space. If I study in bed, which I do a lot, if I study in bed, I'm naturally like not going to be focusing as much.
Totally.
Because I sleep there, I chill there, I relax there. Like it's your brain like takes notes of all these things and is really susceptible to habit. So when you do a lot of one thing somewhere, it's hard to then do something else, especially if it's something productive and something leisurely.
Totally. It's like I find I can't do a lot of like admin and stuff like that at home because I just will make beats. Like it's so default that I'll just do it.
Yeah, me.
Even recently, like the other day, I just called one of my mates and I was like, "Oh, I think I like left something at his house." He was like, "Oh, me and the boys are studying at this cafe near my house." I was like, "Damn, I wanted to see them, so I was like, I'll just come out. I'll just do some emails and stuff." I got so much done, like, because it's just I can't make music. I've done that a lot, but I didn't have my headphones, and I was like, very like, okay, no, like, watching them study, I was like, I'm gonna do that, but in my own way.
You have to lock
do
in.
my admin and
100.
Just make invoices, send emails, stuff like that. The stuff that
Yeah.
isn't fun, but part of the job.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, like, you already know this, but you always, if you ever want another space to create,
thank you,
this is your home, man.
It
This is
feels
your
like
baby.
it. I still feel so comfortable here.
This is your baby, man. You know where the key is.
I literally do, and I know the code.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
It's
go.
all yours. It's all yours. Speaking of the invoices and admin and everything like that, what do you think, like, is the most healthy way to balance making creativity a business in a way that doesn't fucking sap your soul?
I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I don't know the answer. Like
That's fair.
I am.
That is a valid
I am
answer.
struggling with that.
Yeah.
And I have struggled with that for a while. And
Yeah.
this year, that's been a new struggle where, like,
Yeah.
this year it's gone to a scale where I can occupy this full time. Like, I'm not making a full time income where I'm like, you know, living lavish or whatever, but
Yeah.
like, there's enough going on for me.
Yeah.
That's the case, and it's never been like that before.
Yeah.
And now that comes up, and it's a lot more serious because it's like, you know, like,
Yeah.
for example, there's an invoice that, you know, it's like good money and money that will like float me for like a while.
Yep.
You know, like pay for food, pay for travel, pay for everything. And like I left a C off the email, so they never got my invoice. So I'm like, I've now had, you know, wait, that there's like a gap in cash flow because,
Yeah.
and that's just, I just, you know, I'm a little tweaker. I just fucking missed the C. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and I'm trying to get better at that. That's definitely
Yeah.
a part of my, because I try to look at this whole thing holistically.
Yeah.
And that's something that I have acknowledged recently, that like I suck at that shit. And
Yeah.
that's not an excuse. Like maybe I always made it an excuse because I was like, oh, I'm just not good at, like, I have ADHD. I'm not good at
Yeah,
admin. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
bro, well, now
feel
I'm
it.
like, don't have that money. I need to go
Yeah.
buy food. So
Yeah.
get better. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I tell
Well,
myself.
it's the unattractive part of music being your full-time business and being your full-time gig. I think when we were younger, when we were just starting out, we have these lavish ideas of music being two stages. You're making music and you're just starting up, and then you're superstar. And in between that gap, everything that's annoying, like you just don't have to do, you just make music and then you make music and it's mean. But what reality is that middle period where a lot of the actual groundwork that goes into you becoming bigger and becoming more successful is full of bullshit.
Yeah, and it's even like this year I've been around people doing it at that level that like I look at them, or before I knew them, I was looking at them being like, damn, they that second one, they that superstar,
they got that
go
dough.
play shows, make music, buy Tesla, rah rah rah. And then being around them, I'm like, damn, they're dealing with bullshit too.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same bullshit. They just go home to a nicer house with a bigger car, but like it's still,
and got a PR team to make it look seamless.
Exactly. But even that, like, that also presents its own, you know? So
yeah,
I think that like dream life is like, it's there, but it's like 55% of what it's like natural. You're always gonna do that. You're always gonna dramatize it, romanticize
100%.
it.
Yeah, that's it. And like, the reality is would you rather be doing that bullshit, or would you rather be in a fucking office job and doing that bullshit for someone else?
See, I've literally had days like that this year where, because it's like, right now for me, it's so, you know, there's nights where I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm living this life. Like, this is crazy. This is what I've dreamed of.
Yeah.
And then there's nights where it's just such a chore. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh. And then I look back and I'm like, why am I, like, how have I got to this point where I'm doing what I want to do and I'm like hating it or whatever? Yeah. And it's that I like talk to someone and they'll be like, dude, come on. Like, what I like to do to my friends and what they do to me is like, all right, just go to law school, bro. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I love it. Okay. Literally.
If it's that bad.
I say that he's in law school, but
yeah. All right, just about to finish. Like, oh, one more week, man.
Yeah,
one more week.
Crazy.
But yeah, no, 100%. That's I actually have the same kind of things. That I, you know, like, being an artist and being a creative in this day and age where it is not fucking easy. It's easy to have doubts, and it's easy to, you know, be like, is this, you know, what I really want to do? And is this how I'm going to live my life? And how am I going to go about everything? And that's natural. But I think yeah, it just comes back down to, and I think about it, and I'm like, oh, I could just fucking be a lawyer. No,
Nah,
yeah,
not
you
happening.
know.
Not happening.
And so it's like
Mm.
it's not gonna be a fucking piece of cake, and it is gonna be struggle. But the reality is there's no other struggle I'd rather have.
Yeah, and to preface it, there's nothing wrong with being a lawyer, you know? Like,
Yeah, no,
some
100%,
people are, you know, really happy doing that.
100%.
It's just, I'm like, it's so funny. I tell my parents this sometimes when they, like, try to swing me to the other pendulum of, like,
Yeah.
how to live your life. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, if you know me, bro, like, there's no way
Nah,
I'll be a
there's zero
terrible
chance.
lawyer.
There's
Like,
zero chance.
this
I
is
don't-
how I'm built.
I
you
don't
know?
see you in anything but music.
Neither.
Anything.
And it's hard sometimes talking to people, family members, people that care about you.
Yeah.
And they're like, come on, be realistic. Like, you know, you're
Fuck, I
like,
love
you're not an
that.
idiot
Yeah.
and you can talk, like, you can do anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I explain it that, like, it's not like a music's all I can do, and like it's this like dramatic, well, I dramatize it a lot because
Yeah,
I'm a little tweaker, but I like try to explain that it's just like, this is just how I'm bred. Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is where I am.
Yeah.
All like, not all good, but this is where I'm like at baseline.
Yeah.
Everything else
Yeah.
before that, like, I wasn't. And a lot of people don't kind of understand that. They're like, what do you mean? Like, you can do anything. It's just what you do. And I'm like, it's actually not. Like, this is just who I am.
Yeah.
That's how it comes to me. It's
Yeah.
not just like I decided. Like, this is what I tell people. I didn't choose to make music. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a whole buck. If I could snap my fingers right now and be passionate about something else that's a lot easier or make a lot more money, you have a lot more stable of a lifestyle, like, I would be pretty tempted. Like,
Yeah.
even I always say, like, I don't want my kid to be like me.
Yeah.
I don't want my kid to, like, you know, go
Yeah.
through this shit. I love it, but it
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. It's a constant kick in the balls.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not an easy. It's one of the most, like, unrewarding in terms of material success.
Yeah.
And it's so fulfilling in terms of everything else, right? When you make a
Totally.
fucking banger, it's sick. And like, you feel the love from the music you make, and it's your child and everything like that. But in terms of, like, brother, I got bills to pay. I got this to do. I got a fucking cat to feed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you've got a really difficult future ahead of you, to be honest.
Chase your dreams, guys.
Chase your dreams. But that's the fucking thing. That's what I love when people be like, be realistic. I'm like, what do you mean be realistic? Like, first of all, why? Like, because look, in my eyes, I believe you can turn anything around at any given moment.
Totally.
So I think that I think that anyone can do anything for a certain period of time, fuck up completely, be ground zero, and then flip it back.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like a big part of it, is that it's like, well, for me personally, like, I'm going to do this first in my life. But like, looking at it in general, like, you can try this shit and then do something else. Like, nothing is stopping you. You're not wasting. I mean, it depends, like, who you are. But in general, like, you have one life. You may as well try
100%.
something. You can always flip. Like,
100%.
especially in New Zealand, where we're so lucky to be able to
100%, bro.
be assisted by, you know, the government to, like, go to uni, to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the risk? But it's funny. I just want to say back to what you're saying about the reward stuff. It's like, it's hard because, you know, let's say, like, people will see these struggles and the whole, like, waiting for bills. And for me, with the, like, return, it's like, yeah, you'll grind away, make all this new. Oh, there's two elements of it. One element is, like, the first element of fulfillment is just that feeling. At my uni, the speaker at our graduation said, like, he was like, parents, you may not see this or feel this, but, like, what your kids are chasing is that feeling in the studio when you make that idea and it just fills your whole body up with, like, excitement, and you just, it's like, and you know that feeling. Like, I feel like us as musicians or creatives, when you know that feeling, it's like you're chasing that.
Yeah.
That's what you're chasing.
Yeah.
And every day I
100%.
get that feeling, I'm happy. Like,
Yeah.
that's my life good. Everything
Yeah.
on top of that is whether I'm obviously surviving is like
Yeah.
the baseline. If I'm not surviving, then I have to think
There's a
about
problem,
it.
yeah.
Maybe that feeling is not worth death. Like,
yeah.
it's worth everything other than death.
Yeah.
But it's that. And that's the first thing. So technically every day I'm like living my dream when I get to do that. But then the second thing on a wider level, like I kind of tell some of my aunties, for example, and they haven't really seen. It's like this year, you know, me and Bond Repair like opened for Chase and Status. The Goat. We actually rehearsed for that show in that room there.
Oh fuck, I love
But
Bond, bro.
like, you know that Izzy video where he's like, fortify your mind. I hope you have happiness like this. Like, bro, like I would have gone through months, doubts, being broke, whatever. But getting on that stage, Trust Arena, thousands of people, lasers, and just you like come out the tunnel. You feel like Taylor Swift. You come out that mini tunnel and you rise up on the thing. Trust Arena, make some noise. Like that's everything, bro. Like that that fills everything. It's all worth it in that one moment. And that'll fuel me for years.
Yeah.
I could keep going on this. People like, you know, like, what's your plan? Like, da-da-da. Are you... I'm like, I could explain to you my plan and da-da-da, but ultimately, like, after that, bro, I'm doing this. Like,
That's it. 100%. It's just, it feels too good, bro. It's euphoric. The looping back on that realism thing we were talking about, I feel like as being where we're from and our ethnic backgrounds and being like minorities within minorities, the whole realism thing is almost a joke to me, because it's like, me being here wasn't realistic.
Yeah.
Us being here wasn't realistic. Getting the studio wasn't realistic. Like living the life I've lived wasn't realistic.
Totally.
Being, you know, like,
I think that's why because it was already taken far when our parents left.
Yeah.
Now they're like, yo, whoa. You're
going
even further, like, chill, bro.
It's fair. It's fair.
You escaped the war. That's like, you get one.
Yeah.
Like
be a lawyer, brother.
Yeah,
like, you know?
Yeah.
It's
I get
it's fucking fair enough.
So fair.
Like, you escape war, trouble, like you see everyone around you die, and you go through all this pain and trauma, and then you bring your children here for a better life, and they're like I want to rap. Like, I get it.
I'm just imagining my dad when he moved here. He was working at Countdown. He just couldn't even speak English. He was like a geologist and like super intelligent, and he's just there, ching bong, ching bong, and then his little son is like, bro, dad, I'm gonna do. Oh my god, poor guy, bro.
Yeah, 100%. We don't make it easy for them.
Nah, we don't.
We don't make it easy for them. But man, it's a funny like cyclical relationship, because it's like they inspired us in how relentlessly they struggled and strived to get what they want, which was a safe future for themselves and their kids. And it's like, you might not see it, even though you're the one that did all that, you might not see, but I'm gonna honor that by chasing everything I've ever wanted to chase just as relentlessly as you, or, you know, strive to be just as relentless as you were.
Totally.
And honor that with the fruits that come from that.
Totally. And that, like, that's the key thing, the thing you said about the safety, because you know, they did do that so that we can have this safe life, and we've now took the ball out of the safety bucket.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're doing, you know?
Yeah.
And I see how scary that is for them.
Yeah.
I think it always just ends back to, like, I want to be happy, you know? Like, end of the day, I could, you know, do so many different things and live a safe life. And I'm like, both of us are so privileged and blessed to be in a
100%.
position where we can, always.
100%.
But I wouldn't be happy that way. And, well, I say this, but sometimes I'm not sure if it's true, but I'm like, eventually you just want me to be happy, right?
Yeah.
And that's just what I'm going to try to do.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's yeah, that's the thing. Like the underlying motivation behind all of it, including the fear behind music and everything like that, the underlying motivation is happiness. They want you to be secure, happy, have a great life.
Yeah.
And so it really, it makes a lot of sense. It might not make sense to them in the moment,
No.
because it's like, this is not the way to do it. To them,
No.
it's not the way to do it.
And also, I think the biggest disconnect with that is like, they, you know, like let's say with my parents, like they don't know chasing status or like what that night was and or how I felt. Like I try to tell them and I like dramatize it to them to see if it'll like click into their head.
Yeah.
But they just don't get it. Like that doesn't make sense to them. Whereas like, you know, to like anyone else, it's like if I explain, it's like if I explain to you, like it's big arena and it's like, oh my God, that's like a lifelong dream.
Yeah.
But they don't click that. They just see the money you came out of it or
Yeah.
And, you know, once again, like I get it. Like I totally get it.
100%.
But it's like, I wish I could like bottle up that feeling and that happiness and like the place of that achievement in my head where I was like, okay, like that's something I wanted to do. Like playing an arena was like so steadfast in my head since I was a kid. It was just like this. There's been a couple of things that I've done that have been like pinpoint. Like I'll talk about it. Maybe we'll cut it, but like one thing was like make a song with Lee Matthews. I will never forget being like 15 and seeing them at Soundsplash, and they were the first electronic artists I heard. They had their song "Take Over" blew up in New Zealand, and like I just was like, I'm gonna do it. Like telling my friends, you see those two guys, I'm gonna make a song with them. And now it feels weird now that I know them. It feels like I'm a stalker, but like it was just a thing. And
all planned.
And then when it happened, it was like super organic. I didn't even the way it happened was not how I would have expected. It just happened. And I was like, what? Wait, what? Like, hold on. Like, I actually did it. Like, what? Like, does that mean I can do anything now? Like, and to me, it does.
It does. It really does, bro. Like my brothers, my parents, they'll fucking push me to the end of the earth. You know, they'll push me in whatever I want to do, and I'm so blessed and lucky for that. And to them, I think I can't wait till I get those sorts of moments. And I've been blessed to have a few of those moments already. And when I tell them, and I'm excited to just keep racking those up. And to be able to be like, you guys were right. You bet on the right thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's funny with that, because like, you know, when I was younger and I started, and like, you know, my close circle of like cousins and stuff that were just relentlessly pushing me, like Jimmy for the camera is like my older cousin / like best friend, and he has been there. You know, he drove me to Apollo Night the night I met you. Like some of these moments happen, and he's like, okay, whoa, like, holy crap. Like, he's always been like, oh my God, this is sick. I like the song. We should do this. But then things like that happen, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, this is getting real. I think that's a big thing. It's like for me this year, it's like started to shift in a sense of like, okay, this is actually getting real. And that, like we were saying before about bullshit comes up where you didn't expect, like that also is like, it's all I've ever wanted, but like, it's scary. I don't want to fumble it. I don't want to, you know, now it's like there's connections I'm building that could change my life. So it's like, I'm overthinking every email, everything I say. I'm like, do they hate me? Do they do it? Like typical shit that like human shit.
Yeah, I feel that.
Before, because it just wasn't that deep. Like I was just making music and well, there were things that were small that felt big at the time, but now, it brings up so many challenges and so much just like human emotion in my head that I'm trying to deal with. And that's been the biggest thing of this year, is like people are like, this year's been crazy. And I'm like, it's been the best year of my life, but it's been the hardest year of my life. And sometimes I'm like, I miss when it was like chill. You know, when it was like chill, making music in uni. But obviously that's bullshit, because this is all I've ever wanted for my entire life. I haven't fucking shut up about it since I was 14. So
It's the appreciating the grind while you're grinding, and then when you get to a milestone that you've been grinding for, it's like, wow, the grind was really fun.
Yeah.
The grind was really, really fun.
And it never ends too.
It never does. No, there's always another milestone. That's what's amazing about music as well. There's no limit.
No.
There's no limit.
No.
Except the ones that we put on ourselves or people try to put on us.
Which is crap.
Which is bullshit. Yeah.
Because yeah, it's like there's two arms to it. Is like the aspiration arm, like the let's like become one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah.
And like climb up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's like the more important for me side, which is just the like making music side of just like me in my room making music, feeling the way I have since I was 15.
Yeah.
And that side never changes, or it hasn't yet for me, which I'm really happy about. Like, that's the one thing that now, like, stuff that's getting more serious and things are getting, radio play or labels and stuff like that. And sometimes that bites into like me in my room and I'm like, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? And I'm lucky that I've been around people that do it at the top that are like, nah, just do the same thing, make that music, just off your feeling, and it'll work itself out.
I was gonna say before, obviously you know this, but in terms of like the whole, when you get to a position and you're scared to lose everything, you're the same you that got you here, right? If not better. So it's like, have confidence in that you, because it's the same one that got you in this mean position. So it's the same one that can keep you going higher.
Thank you. I hope so.
Stress. 100%, bro.
I still feel like, because it's funny, there's like, for example, with like shows or certain people that you get to a point where you're perceived to be like up, let's say, and people bring opportunities to you. And I'm like, I would have sent emails to these people or whatever, and it's like, these are the same songs. I'm the same person I was like a year ago. But now that I'm here, you're like, this is sick. I just find it funny because I'm like, I was the same thing. Well, obviously I'm better than I was last year. Well, I hope to be.
Yeah.
But it's funny how that works. And even seeing my friends, like, just get put into positions and people are like, oh my God, I'm like, this person's been doing, I've seen this person this thing and not reacted, and then now they're doing XYZ, and it's like, whoa, that's so good. Massive. I love this song. It's like, do you? That's part of it though.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why for me this year, I think recently something really cool happened where, like, been talking to some people overseas, like label and management and stuff. And
let's go.
There was like my project, I sent it to someone, and I didn't know that they were gonna listen to it. Like, I just had this link of this project. It's like 80% done, and he just said, like, I really liked listening. Like, I was assuming getting into Contact, I was in like business hat, ready to talk about blah blah blah, this label, this deal, what we talk about. But he just was like, I'd love to talk about the songs. Like, what were you thinking when you made them? Like, this song's really sad. Like, and I was like, whoa. The fact that I wasn't expecting that is kind of crazy. But I was like, damn, these dudes are just listening to the music. And
they're
like
still
feeling
musicians at that level.
Yeah.
You know?
And that really was like huge for my confidence.
Yeah.
That was the one moment where this A&R that has a pretty big track record overseas of like dealing with big hits, that was like, I like this. And I didn't just, it's weird. Like, I always liked my music.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy it, but
yeah,
part of me was like expecting that big wigs wouldn't really respond to it.
I get that.
When they just, like, whatever happens with that is what happens, but just the fact that he was like, I love these records, like,
bro. And
means the world.
It's just a testament, bro. It's a testament to how hard you've been working at it.
Thank you.
You know?
I've been fucking, oh my God.
I've been grinding since not even just these past 2 years, but like these past 2 years, you know? But like, since you were a kid, you've been hustling, bro.
I never talk about it, but I feel like because you know me for so long, like, I don't even, like, you've seen it.
Yeah.
I really do just like put my whole pussy into this. Like, My whole lips and clip, bro. Don't put that in the thing. But I can't believe it. That's on camera, bro. Oh, my God.
I'm putting that in, bro. That has to go. That was golden.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool to see it pay off slowly.
And it fucking does. It does pay off, man. Like,
but it's funny. It pays off, and then you're like, oh, I'm still broke.
yeah.
This.
Well, it doesn't exactly pay off like all the time, but
doesn't pay off. It like,
bro, like I think
jizzes off, bro. Jizzes onto it.
Yeah, that's it. I think you're not only as like a beautiful human and soul, like renowned throughout the country, but you're also renowned for your music and for your art. And I think that's a reflection of the person you are.
Thank you.
And it's a reflection of how much work you've put into it. Like, it's not, I'm not gonna sit here and try to say that it's a talent thing, because you are fucking talented, but you've been in there hours on hours and hours. So there's just a little glaze session for you. If anyone deserves it, it's you.
Love you, bro. I appreciate you a lot.
That's
and I feel the same about you. I think that's why when I met you guys, we got along, because I was just like, damn, these guys are going for it too. Like,
yep.
That in New Zealand, I feel like is something that usually it's like not really well accepted to be like, to come into a room and not in like an arrogant way, but just to be like, we're going for this. Like,
yeah.
And you and Mikeyy, off rip, I could see the passion and see that you guys just wanted to make songs and figure out a way to do it. And I didn't have to like dim it down. A lot of the time I dim it down. Yeah. I just kind of like, how's the music? Yeah, good, bro. Like,
yeah.
You know, like, what do you reckon? Like, I just, work hard, because I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. But when I get comfortable, when I'm, you've heard me, bro. Like, Joe, you gotta change your dreams. I post every day. It's funny with some of my friends that I've gone close with, where I'm like completely myself. I'm like the most like motivational, bro. Yeah. Some people clown on me. I'm just like, you can do it, bro. You're so fucking good. Post every day, bro. What? You could be Drake. Look at Drake. Yeah. That could be you.
100%.
It's funny with doing that, and like, because either the person just completely switches off, or they hit me on that energy.
Yeah. Or they take it and they actually use it, and it's, bro, people need that friend.
I hope so. Because some people do not want that, bro. I'll tell you that.
Some people don't, and that's fine. That's valid in its own right. But to me, in my eyes, bro, I feel like someone that reminds you that everyone you look up to and everyone that you have ever thought, oh, I want to be that guy, they're also just a human.
Yeah.
And you can be them.
Yeah. Ain't no difference in you and them.
No.
They shit, pay taxes. Well, not all of them.
Not all of them, but yeah.
They shit. Is that it? Do we all shit?
We all just shit.
I was gonna say sleep, but guys like this motherfucker don't sleep.
Yeah.
We just all shit.
We just all shit.
Clip that.
That's it. We just all shit.
You look at Drake. You look at Travis Scott, sold out Eden Park. You're like, wow, bro, he's going to the toilet. Plop.
Yeah, he's throwing dookies.
Plop. Yeah, he's just like you.
He's throwing dookies, man. Mm-hmm. And I bet they stink too.
Yeah, they definitely stink.
When someone is just starting music, obviously discipline is important. I think it's more important than motivation. But if you could paint them a picture that you could promise them that with their hard work, they could get to that within 5 to 10 years, what would the picture look like?
I'd say off the bat, impossible. Like you can't guarantee it. There is no like blueprint. Not blueprint. There's no guaranteed like destination.
Yep.
It's just impossible.
That's fair. Yep.
I think
if you could give them an image to motivate them.
I think with that, like, the most important thing is that you have to, this is going to sound corny, but like,
go for it.
You have to do your best and be really honest about that, because people will say that they're trying their best or they're doing their best, but you really have to like give it the best shot you can. and be active.
Mm-hmm.
And grow, like really spend time getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big thing. Like a lot of people just kind of think they can make music and post it and just do that and then they'll become a musician. Like, nah, you have to really be getting better and better and better at a fast rate. And just trust the process. It's so hard. I think that's the hardest part of this whole thing.
It is, yeah.
Is the fact that you just literally have to work hard and make music that's authentic to you, to yourself, for a long time, and not let that slip. Like, do it at that level, the hardest you can, for a long time, and organically you'll find your way if you are doing those things.
100%.
And if it's not working out, either you don't really love it enough and you're not doing the right things, or you're not getting better, and maybe it's not for you. Because I genuinely believe, like, if you are giving it your absolute best and you're creating authentically, like, that's the first barrier. Is like, if you're making music to succeed, like when you're in your room making that music, if you're making it because you want to be a successful musician, you're finished. In my opinion, you're finished. It's done. Like, the first step is, like, you just have to love what you're making and really love getting better at making music. And then the next step is to just give it your biggest crack on making these moves. Because whatever it could be different for. And it's so varied that I can't even say a thing. Like, I can say for me, doing things like just like playing as much gigs as I can, making content, meeting people. That was how I did it. But, maybe for like a band, it's a lot different. But on a generic, like, base picture, just love what you like. Make sure you love what you're doing and that you feel like it's authentic to you, and work as hard as you can on across the board, and just get better every day, and it'll work out. Like, it really will.
Yep.
There's no way it doesn't if you do those things.
You heard it. You heard it yourself.
There you go.
From the man himself.
It's my
Thank you very
cents.
much, Mikeyy.
Thanks for having me, bro.
2 eyes in the building. The man.